This is a touching story of a 15-year-old boy named Chidi. Chidi is down with an intense headache on campus where he is studying with his friend taking care of him. Chidi's headache doesn't stop, so his friends took him home to his family so they can take care of him. Chidi's parents are quite wealthy, with his father, who is a politician, and his mother, who is an international businesswoman. The doctor assures them that it is the school pressure that is affecting their son. Nothing is wrong with Chidi because they can't diagnose anything. So, Chidi's father, Chief Dike, suggested that they fly him abroad, but the doctor tells him that it would still be the same result since there is no major problem with Chidi. Chidi's parents are now unable to concentrate on their business again, so they had to stay with their son, who is at the point of death. Their auntie, who has spiritual powers, came to visit them and immediately discovered that the child had committed a serious sin. She asked Chidi, "What have you done, young man?" But Chidi said he didn't do anything. She tells Chidi's parent that he has done the unimaginable. DK pleads to their auntie to tell them what Chidi has done, but she replies that Chidi needs to confess himself or else she and Chidi will both die. So Chidi's parents were quite puzzled and wondered how grievous his offense was. They pleaded with Chidi to confess, but he refuses to say anything. So they had no idea of what to do. Chidi tried to walk out on them, but his father stopped him from going. It was then Chidi remembered what happened during his university when he was in school. And it all began when Chidi resumed school in the university. He started attending parties with his friends, staying out late, and he kept mentioning that he couldn't do this at home, partying with girls. At this very party, he asked a girl out named Bimbo. Seeing his confidence, Bimbo agreed to dance with him. One of Chidi's new friend, Lami, who also happened to be his roommate, advises Chidi to join their cult group, that they will protect him and no lecturer will be able to touch him on campus. Lami tells Chidi that he can have whatever he wants all time, girls, security, good grades and whatever. But Chidi rejected his offer, telling him that what he needs is to just face his studies and then he can graduate with a first class. Lami tells him that his cult group wants him, and if he turns them down, they will make his life miserable on campus. Lami then tells Chidi his new girlfriend Bimbo's secret. The revelation starts because he refuses to believe Lami. Lami tells Chidi that if he joins their cult, he will be able to protect his girlfriend Bimbo. Chidi approaches Bimbo to confirm what Lami, his roommate, had told him, but Bimbo tells him that it's a rumor and refused to agree. Chidi tries persuading her to tell him the truth so they can report the case to the VC, but Bimbo insists that she has no problem with anyone. While returning from the library one day, Chidi and friends caught Bimbo coming out from the lecturer's office with tears all over her face. Then Chidi followed her to her room and gets angry with her for telling him lies. Bimbo then opened up to Chidi that her parents are doing all they can to send her to school, but she can't do more than she can. So she tells Chidi that she doesn't know why the man chooses to hurt her only out of all the females in the school. Chidi then consoles her and tells her not to cry again. Chidi joins his roommates in anger and tells them the VC's reply after reporting Bimbo's case to him. Afterwards, He lamented on the insufficient facilities, the poor system of administration in the university, among other things. After listening to Chidi, they stylishly gave him reasons why he should still join their cult group. Chidi, with no choice, finally joined the cult group. He had to pass 3 tests before he can be initiated into the Brotherhood XG cult. His first test was to deal with the lecturer, Dr. Bright, who was disturbing Bimbo in the school, which he successfully did. Then the whole school started talking about the sudden change of the lecturer. Chidi visited Bimbo in her hostel, and she tells him that the powerful lecturer has suddenly become weak. Knowing fully well what he had done, Chidi encourages Bimbo to strive to graduate with a second-class upper, but she finds that amusing because she believes she can't. The leader of the Brotherhood XG cult, Don, tells Chidi his next test. Then Chidi replies that he can't do it because it is unimaginable, but Don threatens to expose him to the VC of the university and his parents if he refuses. He threatened to harm his sister too, then his parents, before harming him if he tries to expose the cult to anyone. With no choice, Chidi had to succumb to going for the next task. He and the other cult members went to a graveyard to rob a dead woman, and this was where the problem started. Chidi, unhappy with what the cult group did, he went outside the cemetery to wait for them. It was until they were almost caught, so they had to run for their life. Chidi's supervisor, Gus, who happened to be the second in command of their cult group, reported Chidi to their Don because he was unhappy with his attitude for leaving them at the cemetery and not partaking in their act. The Don eventually pleaded to Gus to forgive him because he's just a young kid, and most importantly, he is rich. He's from a rich family and they need his money to maintain and run their cult group. Bimbo keeps noticing some changes with the way a lecturer now treats her, so she asks if Chidi knows anything about it, but instead he jokes around the question. Bimbo suspects that Chidi is now part of the cult group, but Chidi denies being part of it. Bimbo, not certain that Chidi is telling her the whole truth. As they were talking, Chidi develops an intense headache and falls on the floor. Gus, the deputy of the cult, is upset with Don and challenges him for giving the diamond ring that he stole at the cemetery to Chidi. Why would he do that? He told the Don. Then Chidi shouldn't get the diamond ring since he didn't participate in the robbery. Don tries to make Gus understand the reason for his actions, but instead he walked out on Don angrily. Chidi also tells Lami, his roommate, that he doesn't want the ring, that he is ashamed to have been part of such task. Lami advises Chidi to sell the ring and keep the money. Chidi again develops an intense headache and falls on the floor yet again. After much deliberation, Chidi, with the help of his friends, sold the ring, after which he settles them financially. On Bimbo's birthday, Chidi surprises Bimbo with a car and appreciated her. Bimbo at first didn't want to take the car, but at the end of the day, she took the car. The Brotherhood XG cults are in a meeting, and this was where the division broke out, with them splitting into two after an argument broke up. The next morning, Don and some other cult members started dying. The remaining cultists started pointing finger at the deputy because of the fight that happened the previous day. Now they started killing each other, but now everything seems mysterious because of the crime that they had all committed. Now back to the present day. DK and his wife, Ijoma, continued to plead to their auntie to reveal what was actually happening to them. Soon, one of Chidi's friends, Emeka, calls him and told him that Bimbo had an accident on her way to his house. Chidi started crying. Emeka also told him that Lami, his roommate, is also dead, and other of their friends too were also dead. While Bimbo is still breathing, the doctors demanded for money before they can attend to her. Chidi goes inside his daddy's room to take some money to settle Bimbo's bills at the hospital. He manages to get to the hospital and sees the condition of Bimbo, but as soon as he got there, Bimbo died. Chidi finally returned to his home and finally confessed to his parents and his auntie that they stole from a dead woman in the graveyard. His parents were quite shocked about this revelation. Even his mother fainted. They sprinkled water on her and she woke up again. Chidi feels another intense headache and started shouting. As soon as that was going on, the lights in the house went off. Everything suddenly went dim and they were shattering, and the ghost herself finally appeared with so much anger in her voice. Finally, the ghost gives them 8 days to return a diamond ring, and then she vanishes. Then the lights came back on with DK, his wife, and Chidi and their auntie in shock. Chidi tells him that he had sold the diamond ring, so there was no way to get it back. So the best thing to do was for them to trace their steps to where Chidi had sold the diamond ring. Now, the question is, will they be able to retrieve the diamond ring? This story will be continued in the next part. But before then, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting stories.